Howdy, Redesert Boy here. Hey, I just was going to go ahead and go through the unboxing here of this Inglis high power, which they've designated the P-35. And I will open that up. We'll do an unboxing. And it's a 9mm. And a little bit of the background I've been able to find out is that Inglis ended up making that, I think it was John Inglis and Sons in Canada after FN and Belgium had kind of like during World War II, they needed, Belgium obviously was overrun with the enemy, and so they, I guess they licensed or worked with the British and Canadian governments to build a factory in Canada so that they could manufacture these Browning high powers, and then the Canadian and the British military used them as in 9mm, as well as the Chinese nationalists at that time. And so my understanding is they maybe made about 70,000 of those. And then what happened was they continued, those guns were made, and then eventually that manufacturing company transitioned to other things. But those guns were used in the British and the Canadian military, to my understanding. Canadians until, probably into about the time they switched to SIG in about 2020. And I think the British somewhere in the 80s, late 80s or 90s, they went to Glock. And before that, they started using the L9 version, which was manufactured by FN again, because by that time, after the war, they resumed operations, but they were around. These particular P-35s by Inglis were around for quite a while. So that's kind of the background I've been able to find out. If you know something else, I'd be really interested in that. So let's take a look at this Inglis P-35. And my understanding, this is like one of Browning's last designs. In fact, I don't know if he lived to finish it. I think it was, it was finished eventually, but he had been, he had started this thing. So let's take a look at it. So let's open up this Inglis box. I've already undid the lock part of it. And we can open it up. We can see there's a cleaning brush there. There's a manual. There's a chamber flag. I'm going to have to read up on what this almost looks like a tool is all about. There is a magazine in here. I think the original Browning high powers were 13 rounds. I don't know that for sure. But these have 15 round mags. And this one happens to have a couple of them. Yeah, that one's also 15. Now, of course, it depends on where you live at. Some places you may not be allowed to have that, capacity of magazine. But where I live at, that's allowed. So you get a couple of magazines here. Plus you have, what a nice looking gun, huh? Here we are. There's the gun right there. And look at that. It's supposed to have a hard chrome finish for the barrel, And we'll, there is, on this side here, a magazine release, and we'll release that magazine. There's no ammo in there. Once again, all these magazines are empty. Okay. And it has this green fiber front sight, which I think is great. It does have these kind of blackout kind of sight there. It's got this hammer that's knurled. It's got some texturing to it. It's got these walnut grips. It has a Cerakote finish on it. It's a 4.7-inch barrel overall on here. And I think you can see on the barrel it says 9x19. That's because it's a 9mm. And it has ambidextrous safety. You can see one here, and you can see one here on the other side. And let's go ahead and we'll just pull it back and we'll show that the gun is empty. And then we'll put the safety on. So the safety is engaged. And so it's nice because it's ambidextrous. Means you could remove the safety with your left hand or your right hand. I haven't broke one of these down. I've going to have to learn about that. My understanding is it's a little different than a 1911 as much as it looks like one. But this is a 4.7-inch barrel. And I also believe that this has its forged frame and slide, like I said, with the Cerakote finish and walnut grips. It has no mag disconnect. Some of the earlier Browning high powers, up to more recent times, I think even had mag disconnects. So now this one does not. As I said, it has an ambi safety. It's got these dovetail sights with the green fiber in this model. And it's a single action only. And so the overall length is 7.5 inches. And the height is 5 inches. And it has a 1.6-inch width. And the weight is 1.84 pounds, which I guess is pretty close to, well, let's see, it's probably over 30 ounces. I hadn't quite figured that out. I'm going to guess it's about, 1 pound is 16 ounces, 0.84. Well, it's going to put it up in the 30-ounce plus range. Feels a little heavier than that to me. And that's unloaded, of course. But nice looking gun, So let's hang on a minute and we'll take another look at it. So 29.44 ounces, or about 30 ounces, is what 1.84 pounds is. Now, if we look at it up closer, I don't know whether you can see the markings on there, but on this side it does say Inglis. If I remember right, it says Inglis and P-35. Nice looking firearms. On this other side it does say, let's see here, it's a serial number in Inglis, Knoxville, Tennessee. I think SDS is a company that imports these, but nice looking gun overall, So my thumb's a little rough right now, but I'm going to go ahead and take the safety off and we'll check out the trim. We've already checked this empty, but let's do it again. There's no magazine in here. So, and we're pointed in a safe direction. So we're going to go ahead and pull the trigger, and just very nice trigger. Not much on the take up for that. Really like that trigger. I am really looking forward to taking this to the range. Now, one of the things about these high powers, almost called it a high point, which it's not, is that, and my understanding is, although I have ordered a couple of holsters for it from a company I haven't used before, that have kind of these World War II style holsters, it ought to be interesting to see what they look like when they come in. But one of my understandings is, because they're very close in dimension to a lot of 1911s, is that oftentimes you can use your 1911 holster, of course, with that. And it's one of my 1911 holsters that I have. And it went in there pretty good. This is my, that one there, this one here was this is a Blackhawk leather one. This one here is it's actually my, let's see. No, it won't. There we go. This is actually my Govt 1911 inside the waistband hybrid holster. I think this is one they call the King Tuck. Nice holster. I really like this holster. Seems to work very nicely. It does have a slide lock on this side. Right there. Right there is a slide lock. So you do have that. And it's a nice looking gun. You can see that it fits in a couple of those holsters. So how does it compare in size to my 1911? Well, we can take a look at that real quick if you want. So this is my Springfield Armory 1911A, if I remember right, it's proper designation, Mil-Spec. We can check and see there's no magazine in here, and that is empty. Okay, and it weighs about 39 ounces. Now, if you look at these two, right, I think you can see, you know, it's quite a bit longer because it's 5 inches versus 4.7, right? Very interesting trying to compare these. If you kind of put them up against each other, you can see the 1911 is a bit bigger. Profile-wise, I guess, if you matched them up, trying to match them up here. I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to do that. But they are pretty close in how their design characteristics are. And, you know, so I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to show that. I'm really looking forward to taking this to the range. I think it'll be a great addition. It's a little lighter. It's not a single stack, it is a double stack magazine. And, you know, my understanding is you're very accurate, and, you know, with the fact that it's metal and so forth, should be, you know, handle recoil pretty well. So, Three Desert Boy always says, be safe out there, whatever you're doing. Bye now.